Our lead this hour comes from South Beach. When you got a good story, you got to go with the story. Play the hits, my man. Play the hits, as one of our bosses likes to say, and stay away from the third rail. Now, that is where, not the third rail, but South Beach, that is where the Heat are right now licking their wounds. I assume you've been paying attention to all this. The Miami Heat collateral damage from the stunner down under. It was actually north. Dame Lillard goes from the Trailblazers to the Bucks in a 3-team deal involving the Suns. They got mixed in. Jimmy Buckets has now entered the chat. He assumed the position that he would be mano a mano with none other than Dame Lillard. The rumor had been bouncing around for a good amount of time. So what did he have to say? Did you hear? No. You're not locked in on the socials. Bad job, buddy. You got to be locked in on the social. So, mention Jimmy Buckets entered the chat. He posted a video that he recorded by himself, as most people do. And Jimmy Butler had some thoughts on the Dame Lillard trade. He announced that the NBA needs to, quote, look into the Bucks for tampering. He said, you all didn't hear it from me. And that was it. Now, his teammate, Tyler Hero, who had been rumored to be traded as part of a Dame Lillard deal, he shared the post and replied what he said. Oh, I'll have what he's having. All right, so let us discuss the question. What is your takeaway from Jimmy Butler calling out the NBA to investigate the Milwaukee Bucks for tampering with Dame Lillard? So I have Keystone Light, TikTok, and a steam engine locomotive. Choo-choo! Yeah, I've got all those things, and away we go. So we'll put them all together, and we are going to make cheese curds, which Dame Lillard can get whenever he wants, and they're delicious. They're absolutely wonderful. Now, and he can go to that cheese castle in Kenosha. You can go over there, have all the cheese and sausage and all that he wants. So number one. Yeah. The pain is real. Jimmy Butler was like a kid anticipating a PlayStation 5 for Christmas. He woke up early, ran downstairs, opened the box, and instead got a Commodore 64. And he was like, Mom, Dad, it's not fair. Yeah. This is a blow. It's a blow to the Heat culture. It's a blow to Jimmy Butler and his self-esteem. And so I imagine in that cartoon bubble over my big head, I imagine Jimmy Butler bringing back that old Keystone Light commercial with the bitter beer face when he found out about this trade. Now, as for the tampering allegation, this is a battle that I have fought over the years and I have given up on. The NBA rulebook clearly states that an owner, executive, coach, even players, in some other sports, players are allowed to tamper, not anyone else, but that any member of the organization cannot speak to a player signed by another franchise in the hopes of persuading them to join the team the person's working for. But it's like an old law that is rarely enforced. In Colorado right now, it is technically illegal. It's against the law to take a bath without a doctor's prescription. It's an old law. It goes back to the old Western days of Colorado. It's on the books, right? Now, when's the last time you heard of anyone getting arrested for taking a bath without having a doctor's note? Doesn't happen, but technically it's a law. So even if the Bucks are caught red-handed and there are text messages, directive, if they have like the Hunter Biden laptop, right? If they have all it doesn't matter, right? They'll merely get slapped on the wrist. That's all that's going to happen to the Bucks. Now, page 2. When you take a couple steps back, how embarrassing is this for the Miami pro basketball team? And how did Pat Riley not get Dame Lillard? So on this one, you've got to check the charts and the graphs because Pat Riley thought the Blazers were bluffing. He was caught flat-footed. Now, Riles is the old gangster of the NBA. With palm trees and jet skis, he figured that he had all the leverage. Now, you cannot imagine that Damian Lillard would sign with Milwaukee. What are you doing? But surprise, surprise, surprise. And this is another example of the TikTok being right, the famous meme. As you can see, The more you F around, the more you're going to find out. And Riles and the Heat thought they could do it. They effed around. They twiddled their thumbs during the last couple of months, and now they can watch Dame Lillard play in Wisconsin. The other part of this, which has not been talked about too much, is the chatter over the last week or so had been that the Heat were holding out because they think they can get Giannis when he leaves the Bucks, that was their backup plan. So you talk about killing two birds with one stone. Dame time joins the Bucks. That would seem to harpoon Antetokounmpo from leaving anytime soon, but you never know. He could become a wanderer and travel down the dusty Winnemucca Road. All right, final point. So let's turn the page back to Milwaukee as we continue our in-depth team coverage of the Dame Lillard trade. So as the dust settles in Wisconsin, everyone's been chirping about the Milwaukee basketball team. Will the Bucks become, dare I say, a glamorous team? We're in, right? We're all in on the Bucks right now. We're excited. We're all in. But will the Bucks become a glamorous team with Dame Lillard? The answer is no, and I'm judging this based on the traditional definition, the clinical definition of a modern glamour team. NBA glamour is about entertainers. It's about musicians, schmoozing, courtside. That ain't going to happen unless you consider random Brewers players and Packer players to be amazing entertainers. And maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't. And so we're not going to see this regularly. And the problem is there's a supply chain shortage of A-list celebrities in Milwaukee. Now, last I checked, I remember this a couple years ago, I believe Sheryl Crow, who I don't think is any longer a big celebrity, but her son liked the Bucks, so she claimed to like the Bucks. Chance the Rapper, and that guy John Carpenter from Halloween and those other scary movies. That's about it, right? And I guess is it the daughter of the Bucks owner? She's like an internet star or something. I don't know. Are you a star? If you just a pretty girl that puts your photos on the internet? I guess there's a lot of stars then, because all I see is that. Anyway. In terms of pure basketball.
Oh, you are a sexy lady.
In terms of pure basketball, though, the Bucks, they're not a glamour team, but they are going to be the steam engine locomotive. They will be the trendy train for hoop Puritans. There's a difference, right? Not glamorous, but trendy. And you'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, right? Giving headaches to the Celtics and the Nuggets and all these other teams until Damian Lillard hurts his ankle and Giannis says he wants to go play somewhere in Saudi Arabia. Then it all goes to hell. But until then, 2 thumbs up. You're in really good shape. What could possibly go wrong?